Going into his fight with Paddy Pimblett at UFC 314, Michael Chandler carried the weight of a loss that still haunted him. His defeat to Charles Oliveira wasn't just another L on his record. It was, in his mind, a fluke, a mental lapse, an off night. Chandler believed that version of himself wasn't the real deal, not the man fans had seen tear through opponents. He said it himself. "I believe I beat Charles Oliveira 9 times out of 10. But yeah, I've lost to him twice. So far, it's a 100% failure rate. That kind of contradiction says everything." Chandler didn't just lose, he lost to the same guy twice, and still couldn't let go of the idea that he was actually the better fighter. And honestly, that belief, that quiet refusal to accept reality, is what pushed him into his next bout with Paddy, because in MMA, you're only as good as your last fight. And Chandler needed this one badly. Not just to climb back into title contention, but to protect something way deeper, the version of himself he still believed in. You see, Chandler's been hanging on to a dream of being the best lightweight in the world, and as he inches closer to 40, it's becoming harder and harder to justify that belief. He spent 2 years chasing a Conor McGregor fight that was never going to happen, and all the while, the division evolved around him. So when UFC gave him Paddy, this wasn't just a fun fight, it was a lifeline. A win against Paddy could wash away the Oliveira losses, reignite his career, and, most importantly, bury the gnawing self-doubt that maybe, just maybe, his best days were behind him. In Chandler's eyes, this wasn't a matchup, it was a comeback. And, let's be honest, he sold it well. Fans were buying in. After all, Chandler's reputation was built on being that guy. Explosive, tough, a man who could win any fight, but somehow always found a way to lose the big ones, so the narrative made sense. Beat Paddy, call out McGregor, and pretend the last 2 years didn't just happen. Chandler even framed it like he was doing the sport a favor. "This is me throwing my ranking on the line, giving back to the fans, giving this kid a shot." He genuinely believed he was the gatekeeper, the veteran, the bar that Paddy would have to pass to be considered elite. He even imagined the fight in his head. Pressure. Paddy, drop him, backflip off the cage, and grab the mic to call out Conor. But what actually happened was the complete opposite. From the opening bell, it was Chandler who was pressured, Chandler who retreated, Chandler who got clipped, gassed, and ultimately finished, eating a flurry of elbows and punches before being rushed out of the cage with a torn-up face and 0 answers. The post-fight interview never came. No call-outs, no redemption speech, just medical attention. And honestly, maybe that was for the best, because Chandler losing isn't just another fight didn't go his way moment. This was a total unraveling. It wasn't close. It wasn't competitive. All the excuses, off night, mental glitch, bad strategy, they don't apply here. This was a man who bet everything on the idea that he was still elite. And the fight proved. Otherwise, that's the kind of loss that breaks fighters. And if you think that's dramatic, remember Paulie Malignaggi's words after losing to Sean Porter. "Don't make me have lost to an average fighter. Go be great, so I can live with it." That's what Chandler is probably hoping now, that Paddy isn't just a hype train, that this was the beginning of something special for Pimblett, because otherwise this loss, this moment, becomes a permanent reminder that the dream might be over. And that's the scariest part. Chandler has always been more than a paycheck fighter. He fights to be the best. That's why he pushes the limits, why he sometimes toes the line with fouls. Not because he wants to hurt people, but because losing hurts him too much. He's admitted it himself. "My competitiveness is a gift and a curse. I don't accept losing. It makes the emotions run deep when I do." That's what makes guys like John Jones avoid risks late in their careers. It's what's got Tony Ferguson still fighting, long past the point where most people agree he should stop. And it's why so many legends, Chuck Liddell included, struggle more with retirement than any beating they took inside the octagon. And now Chandler is standing at that same crossroads. One road leads to delusion, one more comeback, one more camp, one more fight to prove them wrong. The other leads to acceptance, letting go, finding purpose in something new. And that second road? It's harder. But it's possible. Guys like Daniel Cormier, Forrest Griffin, they figured it out. They faced the emotion head on. They let the heartbreak wash over them. And eventually, they found peace. Chandler might not be there yet. He still believes. He's one fight away, but for the first time in a long time, that belief looks fragile. Because this wasn't just a fight. This was reality finally catching up. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Has Chandler reached the end, or is there still one last run left in him? Don't forget to like the video, hit subscribe, and turn on those notifications if you want more honest, in-depth fight content every week.